What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's Battle. Today we have what you've all been waiting for, a Total War Warhammer 2 free-for-all battle. Now you see Dr. Shil has brought the Dark Elves, we've got Italian Spartacus over on the far side, he's got the High Elves, and we got FFA, he's got the Lizardmen over here on my right, and I am Black Iron, and I've got this Skaven. So right off the bat, you'll see I have taken Queek Head Taker. He is, he is really cool. There is just so many cool units in this new Warhammer 2. Look at Queek. I mean, he's got that. On his back, he's carrying another rat. I mean, that is just so cool. He's also got. I've also got three groups of storm vermin with halberds. Here in the back, those are they're kind of the elite Skaven infantry. They're armored. They got armor piercing and a large. Now, I was thinking if I was facing off against the Lizardmen, I'd probably need a lot of anti-large for their big units. Here in the back, I've also got, if we look real close, we've got these Plague Claw catapults. They are really cool. Although they don't have great accuracy, they do have contagion. And, you know, they're able to actually do quite a bit of damage. Besides the fact that they've got, they've only got 158 missile damage, they also do... they poison people and they do some major damage that way with their AoE. So we do have two of those Plague Claw catapults. We've also got three groups of rat ogres. Now the rat ogres are really cool, especially when they fly into battle. We take a look at them. These rat ogres are just awesome. So we've got a couple of groups of them. That should provide like some armor piercing and just some heavy hitters. We've also got a warp fire thrower here. Now this warp fire thrower, I mean, this is something that's really cool that they have in the game. You see these warp fire teams. They've got one group carrying the flame. I think it's like chaos or warpstone, fire, and then he's got the group with the shoots out. Besides that, we've got some clan rat here with spears. We've got some clan rats with shields, and I just wanted to get those in there, and just provide a little bit of extra fodder for my groups. And same thing here with these Skaven slaves. Now these Skaven slaves, we look here, I mean, they really have low attack and defense. I don't know why I bothered to put a chevron into them, but they're able to just get in there in the front, kind of like zombies or something, and absorb some damage. Over here for the Lizardman player, you see right off the bat he's got three groups of skink skirmishers. These are over here in the forest. These skirmishers are really cool. Look at that. They've got those blow dart guns. They've got poison attacks. They can fire while moving. Although they have pretty low missile damage, they are going to be able just to, so with their high speed, they should be able to be like really good harassing units. Here in the back of the army, you see he's got some skink cohorts. Now these actually have, look at that, he's got silver chevrons in these skink cohorts. So they're a little bit stronger than you would expect. I mean, you can see just a big bonus in stats and leadership they've gotten. And I think that should help him hold that front line a little bit farther. Look at those super cool lizards. Here in the back, we've got a group of Saurus warriors with shields. And you can see there, they've got those hide shields. And I think he's got a couple groups of those Saurus warriors with shields. Here's a second one over here. He's also got in the back, he's got Cold One Spear Riders. So those are, look at those. They're just riding those mounts. Those Cold One mounts are super cool. We've got the Temple Guards over here on the right, which are those really elite infantry. You take a look at those. You see they've got those like, those serrated swords. They've got armor piercing, charge defense against large. I mean, these are really cool units. I'm sorry this one's taking so long, guys, but since we just got the game, I really kind of want to take a look at a lot of these units. We've got a skink priest. He's got the Laura Beast, so he's pretty much, if you look here, he hasn't brought a lot. I'm not sure if I can get it. There we go. He's got drop rocks, so he is able to drop some rocks. He's also able to do Flock of Doom up there. He's got cold blooded. So he's got, actually quite a few abilities over here. Over here for his legendary lord, he does have Kroq-Gar. Now Kroq-Gar, look at him on the top there. He is awesome. I mean, on top of that mount, that is just beastly, and he has a ton of different abilities. He does have swiftness of Itzel. He's got like all of these just buff abilities, constant buff abilities. He's able to replenish his health. He's got frenzy. He's immune. He causes terror, fear. I mean, he's just awesome. Just a really strong unit. Same thing here with this Bastillodon with the revivification crystal. That is actually a revivification crystal. It's able to resurrect. So it's kind of like a invocation in the heck or something, so it's able to although it does heal the injured units before resurrecting, it does bring a whole different level to the table. If you're able to you know, res some of these heavy elite units like the Temple Guard, you're going to be able to do some major damage. Over here for Italian Spartacus with the High Elves, he has just brought a super small elite army. Over here on the left, you'll see he's got these Tyrannok chariots. These are pretty badass missile chariots. They've got, you know, anti-infantry, they've got pretty high range missile damage. They're also not too bad on their attack and defense. I mean, 22 and 26 isn't going to win you any things, but with their speed and their charge bonus, these are actually not bad for mobile units. Here for his front line, you'll see he's got the Sword Masters of Hoth. Those Sword Masters, I mean, Hoth is just where they're from. They are just Sword Masters, so we'll go ahead and call them, shorten it down with just Sword Masters. They got armor piercing. They've got high, you know, not super high armor, but they've got really high attack and defense right now. So if you put them together with this Phoenix Guard, which are those halberd infantry, they've got anti-large. This is just like a small elite army. So he's also got over here, he's got a Lore Master of Hoth. I mean, and they have high magic. So these Lore Masters are able to take a lot of cool spells. We zoom in here on him. Let's see if I can click in, get in on him. Let's see. Well, either way, if you look in down there, he's got Wyson's Wild Form. He's got Regrowth. He's able to do Spirit Leech, Harmonic Convergence, Mystifying Miasma. He's just got pretty much one spell from each of the lores. Here in the back, he's got one group of archers and one group of Lothar and Sea Guard. And I think Italian said something about this group of Lothar and Sea Guard is actually, since they're pretty good on attack and defense there, you see they've got 47 defense when they're buffed, that they are able to actually protect those archers and help them out. Here in the back, he does have a Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, so he does have one piece of artillery. And then finally on the right, he's got these Dragon Princes. Now these are super strong cavalry, but they, when I've used them, they've actually come out a little bit weak, so you have to be super careful. Just since you have such low numbers of army, you really don't want those Dragon Princes to get surrounded. So over here for Dr. Shil, you'll see that he's got the Dark Elf army, and he's led by Malekith, and Malekith is just super expensive, but he just brings a lot to the table. If you look at that, he's got 4,200 health, he's got a silver shield, 420 weapon strength. He's also got Blade Wind, which is a vortex. He's got the Gaze of Malice, and besides all of that, he's got constant around himself, minus 15 armor. So besides that, murderous prowess that all the Dark Elves have. Once they get a high number of kills, I think it's like 400 or something like that, they proc this buff across their whole army. And so in free for all, they're actually going to get that buff rather quickly because of just the sheer amount of kills that'll happen. And in case you guys don't know, the free for all up here, these are the points up here in the upper left. And so that'll show you who's winning the match. Here in the back, you see he's got some Dread Spears, he's got some Black Ark Corsairs. These are just awesome. I just love all these new units. These Dread Spears, I mean, they've got shield, they're anti-large. I mean, even though they only have a little bit of armor, they're actually, with their 40 defense, they should be able to hold up pretty well. I like the Black Ark Corsairs with their dual swords, so they're also really cool. We've got these Dark Shards, and I feel like those are borderline overpowered. These Dark Shards, if you look over here, I mean, they besides being shielded, they've got pretty good range. They're able to get armor-piercing missile damage, and the fact that they are bow units means that they're doing armor piercing and they're able to arc their shots over the front lines. So that is a significant advantage to the Dark Shards, especially the fact that they're shielded like that. Besides that, with each group of Dark Shards, you see he's also got some Bleak Swords. So these Bleak Swords are just pretty standard infantry. They don't have anything super special. Regular attack and defense. They've got 30 armor. They do have silver shields, so they'll take some archer fire. And these are just some really basic frontline units to guard his Dark Shards there. Now here in the back, you see he's got the Black Guard of Nagaron. Those are actually the more elite halberd infantry. Look at those halberds. I mean, they are pretty awesome. They've got those like Trojan hair helmets. You know, besides that, they're also able to do armor piercing as well. So he brought a ton of armor piercing with this Dark Elf army. You see there's one more group of Black Ark Corsairs, one more group of Dread Spears, so he pretty much just set it up just like this. And then here in the back, he's got the the main linchpin of his army. He's just got, oh man, look at that War Hydra. Those are awesome. 9,000 hit points. Terror. He's got Fire Breath. I mean, these are just really, really awesome units. So I know that was a long-winded introduction. I've got to get better at these free-for-alls. It's probably going to be a little bit of a pain, but let's just go ahead and get this first one out of the way. We'll hopefully I'll get some practice as the game goes on. So right off the bat, so we're mostly going to take a focus on my units. I'm pretty sure all these guys are going to be casting their own games, so if you really want to get a focus on theirs, then, you know, please go to all their channels. You know, Italian and FFA, Dr. Shil, these guys have great content on their channels as well. So check them out for their view of the battle. Right off the bat, I'm going to start shooting with these Plague Claw catapults. So I see on my right side that that these lizard men are starting to move in, and I see on the left side that the dark elves are moving in, and I'm thinking, oh crap, as a Skaven, I am not. Oh, look at that spell. He's cast Flock of Doom on me right away, and I'm not really sure, you know, I probably could have moved out of the way, but I really didn't bring any slingers or any sort of units that would really be able to shoot him out of the air. Over here on the right, you see we are going to engage against those skink cohort. And right off the bat, those skinks actually did take a little bit of damage, and these storm vermin, I think, will be able to hold their own. I think that, you know, they're not going to overwhelm the skinks too quickly, but I think they will do some pretty good damage. Now, if these didn't have so many chevrons, I'm not sure if that would be the case. Over here on the left, you'll see that those catapults have taken some pretty good shots. Oh man, look at, there's one hitting right there into those dark shards, and I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can before these guys get to me. That's why I'm really worried. Over here on the right, I'm trying to look at these rat ogres. The rat ogres are really cool. They're getting in here, they're smacking down some skinks. They're just, you know, everyone's just trying to get in the battle here, but he's got these skink skirmishers right in the back. So of course they're able to shoot those rat ogres. Since they're monstrous units, they're up above the fray, and so I'm taking heavy damage on these rat ogres. And now surrounded by Cold One Riders, they're gonna get routed off right away. Oh, you see that big explosion? That's actually a move from Queek. He is able to use Verminous Valor, which will cause a big explosion, and then also buffs your speed, and so it allows you to kind of, you know, move out of the place where you're stuck at. Look at those warp fire throwers. Oh man, they were taking some shots at that skink priest, so that skink priest had to dive in and get out of the fire right away. Over here on the left, you'll see I've also engaged here, and look at that, they've already got their bonus attack. So I mean, that gives them huge bonus to stats, and they're just doing major damage to me. So because I'm attacked on both sides, you see I am broken all over the place. Luckily for me, I've still got these catapults, and they're just, I mean, they're actually doing some major damage. If we look here in the upper left, you'll see that I do have 4,000 points, so I'm taking like a pretty heavy lead, even though an Italian is coming over here from the right, and he's actually going to get started in the action soon. So there's going to be, you know, probably some changes coming up. Over here on the left, you'll see, I mean, I've taken some heavy damage. Most all of my units are routed, but the one thing that's nice about the Skaven is when they rout quickly and then they come back. So they do have an ability that allows them to run away quicker, which makes perfect sense from the lore. And so that is, you know, it's actually pretty fun. Oh, look at that! That is just damaging me. So that's the spell that Krokgar has. He was actually able to do a ton of damage to me right there. Over here on the left, you'll see my Plague Priest is fighting against the skink cohort. That's probably not a great place for him to be. You see this Bastiladon is in here. He's just smashing on whatever he can get his hands on. And unluckily for me, my Warp Fire Throwers are way over here. So these Temple Guards were chasing these Warp Fire Throwers, and even though I think I do get some shots off on them on occasion, you know, it's pretty much, I mean, those Temple Guards are pretty expensive, but if they can keep my Warp Fire Throwers out of this, then I'm going to have some trouble. You can also see I've been able to get these Plague Claw catapults back online, and so I'm taking just shots at whoever I can. Those Tier Nocturiats and this group of Spear Riders were both able to get hit. Oh, look at that, we're just dropping bombs, son. So even though I was routed off, I think that's what made everyone else think I was kind of not a problem anymore. So if you see Dr. Shil is engaged over here, the Dark Elves versus the High Elves. The War of the Pointy Ears. Now let's take a look at that. Look at that. We can see Flock of Doom casted there. We saw the Prince come in. That High Elf Prince on that Star Dragon. You know, we can see that the Sword Masters are fighting against the Bleak Swords, and those Sword Masters, they're going to cut these Bleak Swords apart. Nothing over here. I mean, this Lore Master using Earthblood, Overcasted, he's going to keep this elite group of units alive, like, pretty quickly. Since I've got my Warp Claws online again, I'm actually shooting right back into that group. So that is the one fun thing about free for all. Look at this. I saw that they're all grouped up. They're fighting each other, so I'm gonna take some shots. You see that? I mean, it is just mayhem. We're fighting over here. I'm trying to use these clan rats to chase down some of these skink skirmishers. I've been summoning clan rats with my plague priest, but I really haven't been able to catch those skirmishers. Other than that, though, you'll see that pretty much most of the lizardmen units are gone. So we were able to come back and, you know, do some heavy damage, and look at that. I mean, we are still using that Plague Claw catapult to just mash into these Dark Elves. So let's actually keep, you know, I'm still staying on top. I'm still doing okay. And now that I'm starting to take out this Lizardmen player over here, now that I'm starting to take out FFA, it's actually really starting to do well for me. You see, I'm actually able to, oh man, I'm actually getting debuffed pretty heavily. You see that Blessed with Faith? I've got just minus 20% damage all around. And this healthy group of Temple Guards has actually gotten in here, and they're going to do some heavy damage to all of these clan rats because they have such weak armor and defenses. We're not going to be able to, you know, really withstand these heavy Temple Guard units. Over here on the right, you'll see I was trying to use Queek, and he, you know, I was trying to take Krokgar, but he was using those skink skirmishers to kind of shield Krokgar and slow me down. So I really just want to get out of there and get back into this main battle so I can keep using Queek to my advantage. Over here, you'll see that I really didn't have these halberds, although they're in here. They're really not doing as much damage to this Bastiladon as I thought. So I thought I'd be able to take the Bastiladon out a lot quicker. But, you know, for me, I mean, look how much health he still has. These things are just so tanky. With 140 armor, I mean, I didn't even notice that. I mean, I don't know how in the world you're supposed to cut these things down. It takes a long time. Over here, you'll still see that these Plague Claws are firing, and I mean, nobody has had the time to come over here and take me out. But luckily for Italian, he's actually starting to take the lead. So this Hydra was able to get in there, but Italian just has really strong units. So those archers, these Lothar and Seaguard, they're able to, I mean, add that together with this Prince, and these High Elves are just crushing it. You'll see them come here, and you'll see them just charge right into my Plague Claw, and they're gonna, you know, we're not gonna be able to withstand these Dragon Princes for too much longer. You see, I'm back in the lead though, because I have managed to take out some of these Lizardmen units, but since he has managed to reform, I think, and he's brought a couple more to the table, so it is really an even fight over here on the right. Luckily for both me and Pharaoh, that Dr. Shil was actually routed off there by Italian, but that brought Italian right back in with the point total. If we take a look from here from the top, you'll see that Italian Spartacus has a really solid army still here. He hasn't lost as many of his troops as the rest of us, and so it's really going to be a hard time for. Oh, and look at the damage that's going to do to that skink priest. So I mean, these archers are actually no joke. They're able to do significant damage when they actually manage to get some hits on a unit like that. Over here on the right, you'll see that he still has those 3 groups of skink skirmishers. So those things were nothing but trouble for me. And although he was, I think, finally able to rout off my warp fire throwers, I think we don't have any more Plague Claws left. I'm pretty sure for me, I've really just got my Plague Priest and my Queek Head Taker here. So, I mean, they'll be fighting, but against these numerous Temple Guards, you know, look at it. I mean, we were able to see him crawl out. Oh, man, I love that animation. That is so cool. I was able to bring a few more clan rats out, and I'm just trying my best to keep this point score up. I was able to use the Plague Priest here to, I mean, we're just doing damage, we're kicking ass, we're taking names, but I mean, there's just not a lot left. We used up all the ammunition on those Plague Claws, and I don't really have any ranged units to help take down these big units and these air units that they have, you know, arrayed against me. But kill man things, kill pointy ears. You know, we're gonna get in there. We're gonna you know, do whatever we can do to try to just, you know, rack up the points. But it looks like Italian's really starting to you know, be favored pretty heavily. I'm still taking heavy shots. I still got a plague claw. I think that was the last shot they had left. But you see there, I mean, they're just firing in. They're taking my units out, and I'm not really able to do much about it. So even though I do have 10,000 points, it does not look like I'm going to be able to pull out the victory. And I think that it's more than likely that Italian's going to pull out the win. So these free-for-alls, they're just intense. They're all over the place. I used to think, before I played this battle, that the first person to engage, you just had to engage hard and fast, and that was going to help you. But Italian really waited there, and I think he was able to just wait and engage at a really opportune time and just able to rack up some kills when, you know, kind of when none of us were looking. You can see on the right here, we've still got the skinks fighting. You know, the skink priest over here is still flying up in the air on his, what is that, a pterodactyl or something. I mean, but there's just not a huge amount of units left. So let's go ahead and fast forward this. You'll see I've still got Queek. I've still got my plague rat, my plague priest, and you know, they're gonna quick fight, do as much damage as we can. And I've pulled, you know, I'm still in second place. I've got, you know, 10,000 points. Italian's got 12,000. So at this point, I think we're just fighting for second place. I'm trying to do the best I can. We've got my plague priest in here, but he's going to get routed off. Queek's routed off, and that's it for me. So you see that up here in the upper left, the name is gray out when when all your units are lost. So you can see here that Italian and Pharaoh are the last ones remaining. They're definitely starting to square off. I mean, we've got a Bastiladon still here in the back. We've got some temple guards. He's casting revivification on them. So you see they healed up a little bit with but I mean, he just doesn't have anything to deal with just the sheer terror that is these units. We've got this sky dragon here, the star dragon, sorry. We've got the star dragon here. He's fighting this Bastiladon, and since it's only got 200 health, I mean, it shatters right off the map. I was hoping we were going to get a sync kill on that, but it looks like he turns that dragon right around. He's able to smack it into these temple guards. And these temple guards, I mean, these are elite units. These look, they've already got 160 kills. They're not going to break so easily. But you know what definitely will break is these skinks. We still got some ammo left on the Lothar Sea Guard, and even though there's none left on the archers, you see those skinks when they took even some damage, I mean, they just die. So these, I mean, they really don't have a huge amount of health because, but when you actually do catch them, I mean, look at that. We're able to charge right in there. Those dragon princes are, you know, just going to start routing off these skirmishers. Over here on the right, the few of those elite temple guard that are remaining, I mean, they're going to fight it to the death with this dragon prince, but there is no way they're going to be victorious. There is not a lot they're going to do. Look at that. Oh man, he sent them, he was bowling for temple guard. And that's about it. So that was just a great free-for-all. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And let's just go ahead and quickly take a look at this post-battle wrap-up. So if you look here, Italian had 752 kills, FFA 900, I had 900, and Dr. Shil had 289. So Dr. Shil really had a hard time. If you take a look at his army, he was able to get 100 kills with Malekith, but the rest of his army, I think, was really just taken out by Italian Spartacus. It was almost like directly countered. If you take a look at FFA, you can see that he has 80 kills with that Crop Guard, 160 kills with the Temple Guard, 74 with this one. These Temple Guard, they were just awesome. Besides that, the Saurus Warriors got 100 kills, and he was able to get almost 100 kills each with the Bastiladon, as well as these Cold One Spear Riders. I mean, because he was facing off against me a lot, against the rats, I didn't have as many slaves and things as I would typically have, but I did have some pretty weak clan rats. And I did take some heavy losses. For my army, you can see down here that these plague claws, 286 kills, 161 kills. That was just really nasty. We were also able to get, you know, 81 kills of storm vermin. I mean, these storm vermin didn't do as well, but I mean, I was really just all over the place. for Italian's army, you see how just so close it was. I mean, he's got 177 kills on the Dragon Princes. I mean, when I say close, I mean he had low numbers. He was able to get a ton of kills though on each one of those units. Dragon Prince is 177, 70 with the Sea Guard, 143 with that Dragon Prince, and I mean, just every unit seems like it had 100 kills on it. So even though he waited in the back, he was able to pull out victorious and win the game. Thank you guys all so much for watching this first cast of the Total War Warhammer 2. I'm sure it'll get a little bit quicker and easier as I learn the names of the units, but please subscribe below for more great Warhammer 2 content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's battles.